Alright, welcome back to another episode of Chip Theory. Today I'm discussing the key of D major. Um, Here we have our chips laid out from D on the left here to C sharp on the right. So we have D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp A sharp B, C, and C sharp. You might notice the patterns here of the three blue chips represent the black keys on the piano keyboard, and these are the two are here with the D between them. However, they're split apart here for our purposes. The D would occur on this side as well. Okay, so here we are in D major. We know that our major scale is made up of a whole step, a whole step, a half step, a whole step, a whole step, a whole step, and a half step. So I'm going to go ahead and spell out the D major scale with a D. We have a whole step, and a half step here, and a whole step, whole step, whole step. And again, our final half step will be from C sharp to D on the octave. Given that our pattern, we have the notes of our D major scale. We can get rid of these other notes. Here is D major, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, and C sharp. We can give each one of these scale degrees a number. We can call D the root, or number 1. We can call E number 2. We can call F sharp 3. G is 4. A would be 5. B is 6. And C sharp is 7. Good thing to remember about the D major scale on the 6th degree is that B is going to be our relative minor, natural minor, or the first note of the Aeolian mode if we want to know what our relative minor key is. Again, that's the 6th note here, or if we move B down here, we have the relative minor is a minor third below our keynote for our D major scale. So if we count down 3 half steps, from D, C sharp is 1, and C sharp to B is 2. That's 1 plus 2 is 3 half steps to get to our relative minor key, which would be B minor, which would share the same key signature as D major. You can see here the two blue chips are our black keys in D major. We have the F sharp and a C sharp, which will follow the order of sharps for our key signature of D major, having an F sharp and a C sharp. Our triads of D major are going to be, in the first triad, D, F sharp, and A, which is major. Our second triad will be E, G, and B, which is minor. Our third triad is F sharp, A, and C sharp. Our fourth triad is G, B, D, which is major. Again, the 4 chord is one of the primary chords in a major key. They're always major. The 5 chord is A, C sharp, and E. The 6 is minor, B, D, F sharp. Our 7 chord is half diminished, or triad will be diminished, C sharp, E, and G. Given our triads, we can now form 7 chords based on the degrees of the major scale. Again, once we know our degrees, these will hold true for all of our major keys. We have on the 1, we're going to have the root, the 3rd, the 5th note of D, and the 7th note of D to form a 7th chord on this note. So these 4 tones of the scale, you can see they're alternating notes from the major scale, so the degrees will alternate too. So we have the root, the 3rd note, the 5th note, and the 7th. So we can build that chord up in this direction. The D, F sharp, A, and C sharp. Again, this is the root, 3rd, 5, and 7 of the scale for our degrees. The D would be the root of the chord. The 3rd of the chord is F sharp. The 5th of the chord is A, and the 7th is C sharp, which happen to match the degrees of the scale on this chord. Again, this is a major 7 chord. It's going to have a 1+2 spacing here between the F sharp and A. Again, F sharp to G is a 1/2 step, and G to A is 2/2 steps. So 1 plus 2 will get you from F sharp to A. And that format is going to hold true for all of our 1 chords in major keys. Okay, so it's 2 plus 2 here, 1 plus 2, and 2 plus 2 for D, F sharp, A, C sharp, or a 4-3-4 major 7 chord. Our 2 chord is going to be E minor 7. Again, it's the 2, 4, 6, and root of the scale. E, G, B, and D. Again, the 2 chord is always a 2, 4, 6, 8 scale degrees. E minor 7. It's also a 3-4-3 spacing. And these 3s between these half step, between the intervals here, the 3 here will have a 2 plus 1 from E to G. From E to F sharp is 2, and from F sharp to G is 1. So I call that a 2 plus 1. And again here, from the B to D is also a 2 plus 1. B to C sharp is 2, and C sharp to D is 1. So it's also a 2 plus 1. So 3-4-3. E minor 7. Our 3 chord is an F sharp minor 7, F sharp, A, C sharp, and E. Although this minor 7 is the same quality as this minor 7 on the 2 position, the F sharp minor 7 on the 3 position is going to have 1 plus 2s for its intervals, because F sharp to A is 1, F sharp to G is 1, and G to A is 2, so F sharp to A is a 1 plus 2 here. The same thing here, from C sharp to E, we have C sharp to D is 1, and D to E is 2, so 1 plus 2 here. The 3-4-3 in the second position has 2 plus 1s, and the third position has 1 plus 2s for its minor thirds. Always, in all major keys. It's just one little detail to remember. It'll help you keep your scale figured out so that you know whether to play a white note or a sharp or flat note next in your scale. The fourth position is a major 7. Again, the scale degrees on the third position are 3, 5, 7, and 2. The fourth position will be 4, 6, root, third. It's a major 7 built on the G, B, D, and F sharp of D major. So here we have the 4, 6, root, third. It's a 4-3-4 spacing. And the 3 here has a 2 plus 1. B to D. B to C sharp is 2, and C sharp to D is 1. So 2 to 1 here. Remember, our 1 chord here has the same quality. It's a major 7, but at the minor third in the middle of this one, F sharp to A, is a 1 plus 2 here. This major 7 has a 2 plus 1. So you can kind of see, if you were to look at this symmetry, that the half steps, they face kind of outwards. The 1 plus 2 is on this side, and the 2 plus 1 would be on this side. On the 2 and 3, you have 2 plus 1s and 1 plus 2s, so they kind of face each other on these two intervals. So there's a little bit of symmetry in the pattern on the first 4 chords of a major key. The 5 chord is a dominant 7 built on A. We have A, C sharp, E, and G. Again, it's a dominant 7 because there's a minor third here between E and G because of their scale degrees. Now the 5-7 is always a 5, 7, 2, 4 of the major key. Always. And it always has a minor third atop a major triad. So here we have the A major triad, A, C sharp, E, which is a 1 plus 2 here between C sharp and E. And then this here, E to G, is a 2 plus 1. So E to F sharp is 2, and F sharp to G is 1. So 2 plus 1. It always has this format, a 1 plus 2 and a 2 plus 1. A 4-3-3, 5-7-2-4 dominant 7 chord. In this case, it's A dominant, or A7. The 6th chord is a 6 root 3rd 5th of the scale, built on the B. It's going to be a minor 7, B, D, F sharp, and A. Now, the 6th chord, if you look at this, the 6th chord mixes up the half-step formula for the minor thirds. Between B and D has a 2 plus 1, and between F sharp and A has a 1 plus 2. So again, it's a little different than these two 3-4-3 chords, or minor 7 chords, because it has one of each. It has a 1 plus 2 and a 2 plus 1. So it has a 2 plus 1 on the bottom, and a 1 plus 2 for the top two intervals. On this B minor 7, 6 root 3rd 5th of D. Our 7th chord is going to be half diminished, C sharp, E, G, and B. C sharp, E, G, B is going to be half diminished, or a 3-3-4 spacing. It's going to have a 1 plus 2 on the bottom and a 2 plus 1 here on the second interval. Always, in all keys. 1 plus 2 and 2 plus 1 on the 7 chord of any major key. So C sharp, E, G, B is half diminished, meaning that it has a major third here between G and B atop the diminished triad. Okay, so those are going to be our diatonic chords of D major. Let's talk about the inversions of these chords. Now, I'm going to assume that the scale degrees are going to not change, and I'm going to just focus on the spacing of the intervals of our inversions, so not to confuse anyone or myself. But it's a good thing to keep in mind the scale degrees that we were talking about for here on the 1 chord, it's a major 7, 4-3-4 spacing in root position, D, F sharp, A, C sharp. The first inversion is going to be the 3-4-1 inversion, starting on F sharp. So we have F sharp, A, C sharp, D, to a 4-1-4 position, starting on A, C sharp, D, F sharp, to our 1-4-3 position, starting on C sharp, D, F sharp, A. Coming down is A, F sharp, D, C sharp, F sharp, D, C sharp, A, D, C sharp, A, F sharp, and C sharp, A, F sharp, D. It's going to be our D major 7. The 2 chord was E minor 7, E, G, B, D, a 3-4-3 spacing. We move our E to the top. We have our 4-3-2 for minor 7 chords. Again, it's a different quality than the first chord. It has a different spacing in the first inversion. A 4-3-2 position starting on G, G, B, D, E, followed by our 3-2-3 spacing starting on G, three, 2, 3, is that correct? Yes. G, no. G, B, E, G, D, E, B. G, B, D, E. I'm sorry, it's 4-3-2 spacing. I'm sorry. Let's see. 3-2-3. This was okay. This was the 4-3-2 position starting on B, B, G, D, E. This is 3-2-3 starting on B, B, D, E, G. This is 2-3-4 starting on D, D, E, G, and B. Coming down is B, G, E, D, G, E, D, B, E, D, B, G, and D, B, G, E. The third chord is an F sharp minor 7, 3-4-3 spacing. We move this F sharp to the top. We have a 4-3-2 position starting on A, C sharp, E, F sharp, to our 3-2-3 spacing starting on C sharp, E, F sharp, A, to a 2-3-4 position starting on E, F sharp, A, C sharp. Coming down is C sharp, A, F sharp, E, A, F sharp, E, C sharp, F sharp, E, C sharp, A, and E, C sharp, A, F sharp. Our 4 chord was the G major 7, G, B, D, F sharp. It's a 4-3-4 position. 4-3-4 spacing, starting on G. Move the G up. We have a 3-4-1 starting on B, B, D, F sharp, G, to our 4-1-4 starting on D, D, F sharp, G, B, to a 1-4-3 starting on F sharp, G, B, and D. Coming down is D, B, G, F sharp, B, G, F sharp, D, G, F sharp, D, B, and F sharp, D, B, G. Our 5 chord, our dominant 7, is A, C sharp, E, G. It's a 4-3-3 spacing. Moving our A up, the first inversion, we have the 3-3-2 inversion. C sharp, E, G, A. To our 3-2-4 position, starting on E, E, G, A, C sharp. To a 2-4-3 position for dominant 7s, starting on G, G, A, C sharp, E. Moving down is E, C sharp, A, G, C sharp, A, G, E, A, G, E, C sharp, and G, E, C sharp, A. Our 6th chord was minor 7 is what is it? B minor 7, 3-4-3, B, D, F sharp, A. Or a 4-3-2 position, starting on D, D, F sharp, A, B. To our 3-2-3, starting on F sharp, A, B, D. To a 2-3-4, starting on A, B, D, F sharp. Moving down is F sharp, D, B, A, D, B, A, F sharp, B, A, F sharp, D, and A, F sharp, D, B. Our 7th chord was a C sharp half diminished, or C sharp minor 7 flat 5. It has a 3-3-4 spacing, starting on C sharp, E, G, and B. First inversion, we have a 3-4-2 position, starting on E, E, G, B, C sharp, to a 4-2-3 position, starting on G, B, C sharp, E. And finally, a 2-3-3 inversion, starting on B, B, C sharp, E, G. Coming down is G, E, C sharp, B, E, C sharp, B, G, C sharp, B, G, E, and B, G, E, C sharp. So again, we have our D major 7, an E minor 7, F sharp minor 7, a G major 7, A dominant 7, B minor 7, and a C sharp half diminished 7. Those are your diatonic chords of D major.